Good morning, Patriots. This is Mike Cook coming to you live from Central Missouri. It is almost 9 o'clock on the 27th of August. And I'm coming to you live today to talk about everything that's going on in the world today, especially going on in Kenosha, however you say it, Wisconsin. Again, I'm not good at pronouncing words. Got to hear me try to say HQC, the proper term for that one. Anyways, so there's a whole bunch of craziness going on. We had this gentleman that this fine, outstanding citizen of the county that got shot. This guy right here, he got shot a few days ago, causing Wisconsin and other places to again burn everything to the ground, and for giving the opportunity for people to rape, pillage, and loot. It was reported in the media that this guy was just there to try to break up a fight. But that, as usual, is not entirely accurate. In actuality, he was the perpetrator that was called upon. The police were there to remove him from the place where he had a restraining order. It also turned out that he had a slight problem with that. He had a warrant out for his arrest for possibly raping a 14-year-old little girl. So he may have had reasons to resist arrest. Now, I'm not going to go into determining whether or not that police officer should have been charged. I don't know. That's for the courts, that's for the investigation to decide. They'll have a jury, they'll have a trial, and everything will happen. But that's not for me to decide. So, we've had a couple days of looting, burning, and pillaging, and some folks showed up heavily armed to try to defend property. Good guys, bad guys, I don't know. I am in favor of the Second Amendment. I'm in favor of people defending their property. I'm in favor of people teaming up and forming militias to defend themselves and their families. Absolutely 100%. But the events that happened the other night, this young 17-year-old man has been charged with murder. Murder one. The media is reporting that he shot two people in cold blood and injured a third. Killed two people in cold blood and injured a third. That's the way the media is playing this. He's a rebel rouser. He's a vigilante, they're saying. But in light of video evidence to come out in the last 24 hours, again, the same thing that happens over and over and over in these situations, this may not be an accurate story. The first thing that you need to realize is that this man right here, he lost his life. Shot in the head, dead. But how did that happen? What led up to this event? You have seen the videos, and you've seen the picture of this man who was shot in the arm. But how did it happen? What was the turn of events? What caused this to happen? Well, this man right here is the instigator. You notice that he has a bright red shirt and capri pants, a bald head, and earrings. Kind of weird earrings. But hey, who am I to judge? Right? So anyways, that man right there, he come up to this young 17-year-old boy earlier in the day, trying to incite him, trying to pick a fight with him. He was calling him the N-word. He was telling him, shoot me, you N-word. He was calling him all kinds of other names. He proceeded to chase this young man. There's video evidence of that. I tried to download it. I haven't figured out how to do all that yet, but I'll get there. You can look it up on YouTube. There's video evidence of this guy chasing that guy. Chasing between two cars. In the process, he threw a bag of something at him. Turns out that Antifa has a strategy of filling bags with gasoline and some sort of device that will ignite when it's thrown. It's called a Molotov cocktail in a bag. It's quite possible that's what he threw at this guy. So this guy chased that guy, chased the 17-year-old kid. The 17-year-old kid fired a shot in the air. It did not deter this guy. This guy was on him. He'd been taunting him all day, and it's built up to this point. The 17-year-old kid turns, fires one shot, hitting this guy in the head, killing him instantly. At which point, the 17-year-old kid can be seen on the video kind of going back, kind of retreating, kind of going back. He didn't know what to do. But the folks around him knew what to do. They knew exactly what to do. They proceeded to start chasing him. They proceeded to chase him down the street till he fell over on his own feet, probably because of his indecision and young, being scared, not knowing what to do. He wasn't concentrating on his running, misstepped, and fell. And as he fell, they came up and drop-kicked him in the head. As they fell, they came up and hit him in the head with a skateboard. And then while trying to wrestle the gun away from him, he shot 2 more times, several more times, but he shot 2 more people. He shot and killed. I'm not sure which one of these 2 dudes in this picture, this dude or this dude, died. And shot this dude in the arm. This dude here. This dude was coming up on him when he shot him with the gun raised. He has a gun in his hand. It turned out to be a Glock, and it was raised. And he come up on this guy. He come up on this guy with this Glock, and this kid shot him in the arm. At which point, this kid ran to some police and tried to surrender. They ignored him, running to the scene to aid the people because these anti-cop protesters were shouting, "Somebody call the police," because somebody's been shot. This kid then retreats to his home where he lives in Illinois, where he turned himself in. That's not the media. That's not how they're reporting it. They didn't say he turned him in. They said he was captured, escaping. But in reality, he turned himself in. But you don't get that in the media. In my opinion, this kid was in the wrong place at the wrong time. In my opinion, a 17-year-old kid should not have been there at all. And the way the laws are in Wisconsin, he may be in trouble because he's 17. Maybe also be trouble because he crossed state lines. The best thing for him to have done was just stand there by the cops until the cops arrested him. But that's not what he did. He's 17 years old. He didn't know what to do. They're charging this kid with murder 1. They're charging this kid with absconding. I don't know how you say it. Trying to flee from charges because he went to a different state. I'm very confident that a moderately competent self-defense attorney is going to get that murder 1 gone. But this kid's life is probably ruined. Why haven't they charged this guy? You know, if there's a gunfight, and if you listen to the video, I can hear rifle shots and pistol shots. Was this guy shooting? If he had hit and killed the kid, would it have been okay? Why hasn't this guy been charged? He should be. If they charge the kid, they should charge him too. Well, this skateboard guy, I think, is dead, so he can't be charged. But that's assault with a deadly weapon. And it's all kicked off because this guy resisted arrest. And if you look in the little circle mark on that picture right there, he has a knife in his hand because he's so sweet and innocent. I was going to bring up some other articles, but I didn't get them put together for this in time, and I was running out of time today. But did you know that the media is starting to call people that don't want to wear masks as psychopaths? That's right. There was an article just recently saying that If you don't want to wear a mask, you're a psychopath. Did you know that the CDC has come out and warned service providers, restaurants and retail stores, not to say anything to non-mask wearers, to anti-maskers, because they might get you. They might beat you up. They might shoot you. It might be dangerous for your health because you know how crazy and psychopathic they are. Combine that with the way they're treating this kid, the way they're treating the cops. It's going to be, before too long, they're setting the narrative up now, illegal to think the way I do. It's going to be a hate crime. It's going to be terrible to think this way. It's going to be, I need to be re-educated. Or maybe, you know, retrained for the benefit of society, of course. I just see a lot of things coming, folks, and we ain't even into September yet. And like I said in the last video, I think September is going to get really crazy. They have been waiting and waiting and waiting for the militia types to start something, to shoot, because it's going to free up them to shoot. I'm grateful that Trump and the governor of Wisconsin have decided to pull in federal forces and National Guard to quell the uprising and the violence that's been going on in Wisconsin. But I'm concerned because they are looking for any excuse they could come up with. They were marching in streets last night. Did you hear about this? They've been doing this almost every night at 3 a.m. in the morning. The Black Lives Matter people going down the street in neighborhoods where people are sleeping because they got to go to work in the morning. And they're screaming and hollering, no justice, no peace. They're screaming and hollering, we're coming for you and we're coming for your houses. They're screaming and hollering, we're going to take your houses in reparations. 3 o'clock in the morning. These people pay taxes. These people, you know, they just want to go to sleep so they can get up in the morning and go to work if their place ain't burnt down. And these people are walking out. What do these people have to do that are sleeping in these houses with everything that's going on? Oh, but silence is violence, they say. See, it's going to get real ugly, friends. Get prepared. Get prepared now. Share this video. Let your friends know what's coming. Let your friends see a different perspective than what the media is force-feeding you, because they are force-feeding you right now. And what they're telling you in their narrative, which means lie, is not reality. Funny how they don't explain to you what happened to this kid the way I did. But it's out there for you to see. It's out there in the videos. You can watch the raw videos on YouTube. You can get different commentary from different people who were there. You know, there's one more thing I want to point out to you. Glenn Beck talked the other day, in fact, he was talking this morning, about how none of the major news outlets, Big Zero, have any presence in Wisconsin or Portland or Washington. Why? They can send journalists into all the war zones of the world. When the Arab Spring was happening, they had the media giddy into the excitement in Cairo as they overthrew their government. And they were on the ground, news reporters, info babes with their big security and stuff. But they have no presence in Wisconsin. The only ones in Wisconsin is little independent journalists, the civilian, the guy with the smartphone, basically, with the thing that says press. That's it. Independent journalists. Those are the only ones there. The media is not there covering this. They don't want you to know. They don't want you to know what's really going on so they can spin it because, you know, Orange Man's bad. We are in trouble, folks, and it's going to get a lot worse. Batten down the hatches and prepare. Make sure you got some food. Make sure you got some lead. Make sure you got some water, because it's going to get ugly. Share my videos if you think someone needs to hear it. I appreciate you watching. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know how you feel. Talk to you later.